Hello, in the last video I began an exploration of Art Deco furniture, and I'm going to continue that theme in this session and look at two exceptional women designers. Betty Joel was born in Hong Kong and established Betty Joel Limited on Hailing Island with her husband David just after the end of World War I, initially producing designs that were very much in the arts and crafts tradition and in oak and teak and mahogany. In the 1930s she moved to Kingston-on-Thames, opened a shop in Knightsbridge and began a series of new designs influenced by Art Deco modernism. There were a lot of one-off commissions for prestigious clients. Lord Louis Mountbatten was one, and also commissions to design offices and boardrooms for major companies and organisations, Coutts, Shell and the Daily Express amongst them. And as well as those one-off commissions, she designed space-saving built-in furniture suitable for small modern flats. And these new designs featured light coloured woods and veneers, incorporating steel and glass. A lot of simple angular stepped shapes, but also some serpentine bow-fronted furniture designs as well. Eileen Gray was born in Ireland. She began studying at the Slade School of Art in London, one of the first women to be admitted, but she found it far too staid, far too old-fashioned, and she left and got herself a job in a lacquer shop in Dean Street. And in 1906 she moved to Paris to learn as much as she could about lacquer work. It's a traditional Asian technique, and she found a place with a master of Japanese lacquer work, Seizo Sugawara, who had settled in Paris. Now lacquer, it's made of tree sap, long history of use in Japan, but a painstaking art to learn and an art with some problems. It's very easy to contract what was known as lacquer disease on the hands. But there was a craze for lacquer work at the time. It gives a very rich, sensuous finish. It's very tactile. It's also versatile. It can be applied to wood and to metal, or to leather and to some other textiles. When World War I broke out, Eileen stayed in France driving ambulances, returned to London in 1915, and then in 1917 was back in Paris. In 1922 she opened her own gallery. She called it Jeanne Désert. She gave it the name of a fictional male owner because she thought that would be better for business, although she took the name Jeanne from a Romanian architect, Jean Badovici, who she was living with. Take a look at some of her designs. This was known as the nonconformist chair. It was influenced by de Stijl, the Dutch art movement. This dragon's chair was bought by Yves Saint Laurent. And she designed adjustable and tilt-top tables, cantilevered stowaway storage units, furniture and appliances that pivoted or extended or folded to maximise space, like this cabinet with pivoting drawers, and this wardrobe and cabinet. Now, as a person, Eileen was shy, not a self-promoter, and her work was pretty neglected at the time. She is now seen to be one of the most influential designers of the period. Style is highly individual, incorporating modern materials, geometric angular shapes, and as her career progressed, the lines became simpler, more economical, and often very ingenious. Take a look at this lacquered stool and side table. This is known as a transat chair. It's short for transatlantique, French for deck chair. This is a dressing table and a black lacquered wood screen. I don't think anything really dates about Eileen Gray's designs. They are classic designs. of their period, but timeless. This leather and chrome settee, chair and stool was known as bibendum, after the Michelin man. This chaise longue or daybed was called pirogue, based on a Polynesian dugout canoe. She was encouraged by Giambattista to take up architecture, and she designed 2 villas for herself at Roquebrune, Cap Martin in the south of France on the Côte d'Azur, and designed the furniture for them. This was the guest bedroom with a bibendum chair for the villa that she called E1027, perched above a bay of the Mediterranean, built between 1924 and 1929. The name is a play on her initials and those of Giambattista. E for Eileen, 10 for J for Jean, 10th letter of the alphabet, 2 for B, Battavici, B the second letter of the alphabet, and then 7 for G, 7th letter of the alphabet, for Gray. It's L-shaped in design, with a flat roof and windows that stretch from the floor to the ceiling with their views out over the sea. She also designed and built another house for herself, not far away, it's on the road to Castellar, in the early 1930s. It's called Tempe Apaya, and this is where Eileen moved after she and Giambattista had parted, and Battavici stayed on in E1027. And the house then became rather badly treated and run down. Le Corbusier stayed as a guest and daubed the walls with some rather crude and garish murals. It was looted during the Second World War and was in a very poor state when it was finally bought in 1999 by the Conservatoire du Littoral, who contracted responsibility for its restoration to the commune of Roquebrune, Cap Martin. And the restoration was finally completed in 2015, and the house is now open to the public. Now, Eileen Gray continued to work and to design well into her 90s, and her designs today command enormous prices when they appear at auction. That dragon's armchair that was bought by Yves Saint Laurent was sold by Christie's in 2009. It was estimated at between 2 million and 3 million euros. It fetched more. There is a license to reproduce Eileen's designs. It's held by a man called Ziv Aram, and he worked with Eileen Gray in the 1970s. So if you wish, you can still buy a brand new bibendum chair. Now I'm staying with furniture next time with a look at British designs for mass production. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons and click on the notification bell to be informed when the next video is available. Or you can subscribe by clicking on the rose window over my shoulder.